So there's one style design that I can't deny has been really popular lately, which is this Y2K style logo and print. Puff print, you know, we've covered that a few years ago. We've done the screen printing and we've done it vinyl, and it's been really popular over the years. Also, these style hoodies right here, this is from a brand called Life of an Outsider. That cut off bottom, I don't know the right name for it, but it's really popular as well. But this Y2K style design, it's been really popular, so I figured we can go ahead and jump into it. I like this one right here. This also popped up when I typed in Y2K design. I liked how this whole oversized logo looks, so we're gonna go ahead and try something like that out. I was on Kittl earlier this week, and this is what inspired the design because I saw it on this website. Oh, I can just click this hashtag right here, Y2K, and they have one right here. They have another one. Oh, this is kind of interesting. We might be able to I want to be able to print this today. I don't have access to screen printing or screen printed transfers today. So let's go ahead and try out some puff vinyl. Let's go ahead and use this design right here. Now for myself, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and change the text on all of them and then see how it looks. All right, so I didn't finish the top right because I could already tell that the top text was already kind of hard for me to read. And I know that's almost the purpose of these style fonts, is like, you can't really read it too much, right? But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup everything. So what I'm gonna do is, see how everything's attached, I'm gonna right click it and I'm gonna click ungroup. I'm just gonna remove the text and whatnot. I'm gonna combine a few different ones and see if I can make this into more of something that I would like. See, because for vinyl, it's gonna be hard for me to do this globe right here, but this globe right here is a little bit easier. It's only about, what, 12 pieces or whatnot. So you gotta take that into consideration whenever you are doing vinyl. Honestly, we might just ungroup this. Let's just remove this globe. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, that one looks a little bit better for me. A little more Y2K-ish. I think I also want this star over here. Let's see here. So after doing some color swapping, I think I'm okay with this right here. Brown and pink. And we have a sand color t-shirt. I think this would look best on the hoodie, but I don't feel like wasting a hoodie just yet. And we're gonna go ahead and see how this comes out. Before we find out, what we need to do is throw this in the Illustrator so that we can cut this out in vinyl. I'm gonna hit layers and I'm gonna remove everything that I don't want. Now what I'm gonna do is click download up here, and I'm gonna download it as an SVG so that it is in vector format. All right, so now all I'm going to do is send that over to my vinyl cutter. Once again, I got that design from Kittl. Make sure you check the link down below for Kittl. And let's go ahead and press up this t-shirt. All right, so honestly, I've never even tried 2-color layered vinyl puff. But we're about to see how it turns out, right? Because the problem with screen printing, you can cure all the inks at once and it'll puff up at the same time. But when it comes to vinyl, you have to puff one of them up and then the other one puffs up. Unless the design itself wasn't in the exact same placements, and then you can layer it at the same time and then allow it to puff up at the same time. But this one right here, we need to place on top of the other one. So we're about to see how this goes. So we have our vinyl here. Of course, we gotta weed it, which sucks, but if it ends up being a popular design, we can always get it screen printed. But for the sake of this video, let's see how this turns out. All right, so here we have it. I feel like I possibly could have made a mistake, because so once I press this onto here, this entire thing will be puffed up, right? And then this area will be sitting a little bit lower. And whenever we do the second press, we have to press the puff back down so that this one can lay on the actual t-shirt. Instead, I think we could have left the vinyl for the pink portion, and where it's puffed up, the vinyl would just sit on top of another layer of vinyl. So that is something we can experiment with in this video. Oh, that's a nice puff right there. So like I was saying, there's This puff isn't perfect. As you see, there's like a few things right there, but I don't think it's completely noticeable. As you can see how it's puffed up now. Now we have to sit the brown onto the actual t-shirt, but that we would have to press the puff portion back down, and that's gonna not necessarily ruin it, but it's gonna take out some of the depth of how far it's actually puffed out. So I feel like we could have just laid it on top of actual more vinyl. So we didn't need to cut this area out. See what happens. All right, so it's not perfect, the brown areas. I think that's because we had to lay it directly onto the t-shirt, and there's some parts that's on the actual vinyl. So I don't know if 2-color puff actually works with vinyl like that unless we had it in 2 different areas. But you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try it again in the actual format that I was just speaking about, leaving the actual vinyl there and not the t-shirt, and we'll see what happens with that. But other than that though, you could always use this as a way to print a sample. We got this design from kiddo.com, and you know, you could press onto a hoodie now. Like, I actually like this brown with the pink and this actual sand color. Some of you all might not be a fan of it, but now I think it's pretty dope in person, and I'm more of a fan of it. All right, so let's see what the second experiment looks like. Okay, so this is test number 2. See how it's completely solid now? Oh, upside down. Now we're just gonna lay it vinyl on top of vinyl, right? You know what would really work, but it's an experiment for a different day, is we just mask the vinyl to one masking tape and we wouldn't even have that issue. Basically, we'll be laying both vinyls down at one time, but that's up to you to find out if this does not work. All right, so there you have it. Test number 2 is actually even worse. Not a good idea. Check that out. Check out all those bumps. But this is some really nice puff vinyl, especially if you're doing one layer or you're kind of separating it, or you're going to be able to press it down at one time. I've also realized you need to watch out on your letter spacing when it comes to puff, because check it out. Now the puff has raised it up and it enclosed like this gap right here on the letter spacing. So if you're interested in Y2K style designs, I got that from Kittle, and I actually got the puff transfer vinyl from Econo Transfer. All right, so make sure y'all check that out. See y'all next time.